Hello, everyone. I'm Peyton Fender,
I'm Jeff Doss.
and welcome to the Extra Scoop.
Yes, we are
Hey,
excited.
guys.
All right, you're getting used to it now. We're getting there.
Yes.
It's I'm so not used to you know doing the opening, so I'm always used to letting Alex do it. But I tell you what, I need to do. I always need to do the ending, so that way I'm the one that can just be in charge of ending the show. 'Cause that never happens. Like the other night, it was just like, all right, it was a great show. It was one of our biggest. It just kept going and going. I'm like, I sent you the text 15 minutes ago. We need to end. Let's. So, but that's the way it is. Hope everyone's doing well. Um, how have you been doing? Because again, we haven't seen you in a month. Last month we had Kyle on, and you had just gotten your third degree. No,
I did.
actually,
I,
you
I hadn't gotten it yet.
we were talking about your third degree test. Yeah. So now new third degree
But
black belt, Peyton Fender.
I am a third degree black belt now, and it was as
How was that?
awful as I thought it was gonna be.
Of course, of course. Yeah, we have black belt testing coming up in 2 months, and so yeah, it's fun to get prepared and get everything ready for everyone's big moment. So
It was definitely. It was worth it. It was definitely worth it.
once it's done, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
The moment it was not worth it. But
of course.
perseverance and a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, and we made it.
There you go. All right, guys. So we are also sponsored this year by Ocean State Grand Nationals. This is going to be the next big event. I know that both of us will be at. There
Yes.
is so much going on. Last year was an awesome event with so much great talent. They had the super fights last year. This year it'll be just big money added to the open weight for men and women, and I know that people from all over will be there. Last year I remember just watching you guys' women's teams matchup in open weight was awesome. It was just loaded with talent.
I
So
definitely hope that the turnout is the same this year because, especially with the money they're giving away, I really hope there's a lot.
yeah, definitely, definitely. Guys, if you're in watching, share and comment. Let us know who's watching tonight. But yeah, Ocean State is doing a great job every year. The past 3 years to really elevate the event, adding money to their event, having great sponsors. There's going to be a lot of great sponsors and vendors there. They're going to be a part of it. I thought that was cool that they're going to have free autographs and T-shirts and pictures with Zolt Maradi as he's their guest this year. So that's going to be cool. And for people, well, why is that a big deal? He's just a sport karate guy. Well, he's from Europe. They don't come over here much. And he's
No,
more than that. This guy's part of the freaking government, all right, in his country. This guy's insane, all right? So, and he's a legend of our sport, not just a guy and not saying anything for people that just are Hollywood stars or martial arts, but like he did amazing things in our sport overseas, here in America, and everywhere. So this is a good chance to meet him and his family. So, all right. So, Peyton, what were some of the things that you heard about from Cowboy Up? Because that was the last thing that happened. We'll talk a little bit about that. Some of the big moments that you saw. Did you watch any online? Did you hear? Were you watching? Of course, you were watching our group messages that we get on
yep,
the team.
I was definitely watching those. But yeah, I was looking for streams and stuff, but I couldn't find too many of them. I was looking on YouTube for the sport martial arts. I got to see some of the forms divisions. I couldn't really find any of the fighting though. Like if you went to the stream, I was looking for it, but I could never find it.
Yeah.
Um, but I did get to see parts of the Texas two step with the man and the woman on stage, which is like
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think the coolest events. And
But
then
now we're we're already into it. We said we were going to do it in opposite ways. We already went to it. So let's talk about mixed team fighting. Why you like it so much? What is it that you love about that?
It's something different. It's something you don't see often, and I've only ever seen it done at 3 tournaments
Yeah,
recently. When
right.
last year Cowboy Up did it, this year Cowboy Up did it. Pan Am's has done it, and then Battle of Atlanta did it last year as well. I
Each
definitely
time it's
think
been different, though, right?
it has been different. I know the Texas two step is one man, one woman, and then at Battle last year they had from juniors all the way up to a senior in the team.
Mm-hmm.
So we had
Right.
junior or like 3 juniors, two 18 plus adults, and then a senior. And then at Pan Am's I think it was two men and one woman.
Yeah.
So it's been
Yeah.
done differently, but every time it's done, it's always super exciting to watch.
Yeah. It was something that kind of came about in the early 2000s, actually. I think 2003, 2004, NASCAR brought it out, and it was just one man, one woman, and going against each other. And it was popular for a long time there. I like the way that they do the Texas two set where it's like tag team rules, but you can tag in any time. And then, of course, the male has to come in on the other side or
Yeah.
the female, whoever. So that makes it a little different. That's fun. In NBL, we were talking about this before the show started with Hakeem. Uh, there was mixed fighting, so it was one senior 35 plus male, one 18 plus male, and one 18 plus female, and that was super exciting because like at that time they got rid of the female fighting team fighting because it was always 3 women and 3 men,
Mhm.
and in the 90s the 3 women's team fighting was huge. It was a lot of teams, but then it started going down and down. And they're like, well, people just aren't putting that many females out there, as far as to have a team. So how do we do it? And so like, well, this is a way to do this and give the senior fighters some more love and recognition because they at the time they were just begging to get more fights and to get more love. So that kind of was like, all right, well let's make this happen. So
Mhm.
that was fun. And one of the ones that we were talking about that had the biggest turnout was the 2013 Super Grands, and Hakeem ended up winning, was part of that winning team. But that was fun. Yeah, I agree. I think mixed doubles or mixed fighting, anything needs to happen.
I think it would do really well at really at any tournament, but especially like the bigger ones. Like US, if US Open did a mixed team, I think
Yeah.
it would be huge, huge.
Yeah, we used to do. There were several times where there would be like set fights, right? And they would do like Team CJB versus SES. This was years ago, and we would have Nikki Carlson and Clara Kokoza as the females, and then 3 men against, or it would be 4 men and 1 woman. I think one year at Tornado Internationals, it was us versus IDC, which was like the Lakers team at that time. It
Mhm.
was really Amerikick before they were called Amerikick, right? So, or even Top 10 USA, that you want to call it. So, those were just always fun and exciting. Um, yeah, Canel says he's proud of you.
Thank
So,
you. For
So yeah, no, I agree. Let us know what are some of the mixed fighting you would like to see. Um, and again, I think it's cool to add in, the senior fighter as well, especially even the female senior fighter. They don't get enough love. So
They don't.
if you create a way for them to do that, you make it like 4 person, one female senior, one 18 plus, you have all 4 of those spots, then you're really like highlighting, everybody. So it's kind of cool.
Definitely
Um,
agree.
so yeah, guys, new idea. Let's make it happen.
Yes, yes.
If not, I don't know. I guess I have to bring back Grand Slam Open to make it happen, but we'll see.
Let's do it.
All right. So one of the topics that we had talked about, and I think it's a cool thing to get your opinion on the female side, mine opinion from just differences, and just from what we viewed is
Mhm.
how to transition successfully from a junior to adult. You are someone who started really young on the circuit, right?
Yes.
And I was as well. And both of us went immediately into adults from the juniors, and it wasn't like we took a break or whatnot. Like we've continually gone even during college and everything else, which some people haven't. So, and I think that part for many people is hard to transition. So,
Yeah.
um, before we get into like how to, what do you think are the biggest differences from junior to adult competition on your side?
Definitely on my end, it would have to be the mindset. Uh, Going into competition as a junior, I I don't know. I just when I transitioned into adult, I had a different mindset. Like, um, I knew that I was gonna be the the new kid. I was the
Mm,
new one when all most of the other women that were already in the adult division are seasoned competitors. So you have to have that different mindset. And a lot of the times in the junior division, you were either fighting the same girls in my perspective the same girls from last year, or
right,
you're fighting the ones coming from the 12-13 division or the 14-15 division. And it's a different mindset because you've seen those girls
right,
throughout the years. And then as you move into the women's division, it's like, wow, it's a new group of competitors. So the mindset
right.
going in is definitely different.
Yeah, and some of those girls you moved up with, or some were maybe a year above you, but there's also people that are 10 years above you, right? 8 years, 5 years.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
with so much experience,
It's the
um,
experience. You
how
have
is
to.
the pressure? Yeah, how is the pressure to you instead of just competing for points, but there's really more, right?
You're
Do you
not
get what
only
I'm saying?
competing for points. You're. I don't know. I kind of.
Well, what
um,
I'm saying, so for me, it was like, all right, like I s- for a while I just did the major tournaments after a while that I've been doing it, right? Because I
mhm,
started really young, and then once I did the national circuit at 10 and kept going, it was like, okay, I'm going to do these tournaments. Then around 16, 17, I was doing both NASCA and NBL, so I did tons of tournaments. And
uh-huh.
and then there was in NBL was a lot of regionals, so I did some of those too. But then when I moved to adults, it was like, wait a minute, I'm getting money now. So I went to even more tournaments as adult because there was that opportunity to and go and win some money when I could, 100, 100, 200, 300 here or there at that age. And if I could drive there easily, go one day, it wasn't that bad, right? And to me, that was great.
Yeah.
But then there's also the marked person to and challenging the experience as well. So
I think there's just something because be obviously being like, oh, 14-15 grand champion, 12-13 grand champion, but there's something different about being best female fighter or open weight
yeah,
winner or overall grand champion. There's something different about it when you're an adult.
exactly.
There's
But
uh,
it's professional. Really, it's the way we should
mhm,
think of it, right? It's the way it should be. It's a different mindset. It's why you did all of this to get up there. That's why it's weird to me that people that stop at juniors because okay, you were just playing the minor leagues the whole time. Like literally, like our
mhm.
mindset should be that we did all this so that way we can get ready for that. You know
Exactly. You got the experience you did as a kid to
Mhm.
prepare for the experience you're going to get as an adult.
Exactly.
So
How was it hard for you to what other things did you battle with starting as an adult besides just the tough competition and even like Brett says, the contact changes drastically. Um, did you because again in juniors and NASCA and most of the tournaments you had to wear a face shield and a chest protector. Did you stick with that or did you completely get rid of that?
I completely got rid of it, and I personally didn't like training with chest guards to begin with.
Yeah,
I didn't like
no,
chest protectors. Face
I
shield I did
hated
train
that.
with, but because
Yeah,
as a kid I don't know, I just face shield was something I was like, okay, I have to wear this. As an adult, I was like,
yeah,
okay, it was definitely a transition, taking it off and actually getting hit in the face. Because when you wear
yeah.
a face mask, you don't actually get hit in the face.
Right,
It's
right.
and then but the chest protector, I wasn't wearing that when I was training to begin with, so that
Yeah.
wasn't anything different. It was more of the definitely the face shield. But
Yeah, that rule didn't come into effect for me until I was 16, so it was really
mhm,
awkward. It was like, "Wait a minute." all these years, and we never did it in my karate school or any of that. So it was really weird. And then I was also doing NBL, and NBL didn't require it at all. So for a while, I just stopped doing NASCA because I didn't want to bring all the extra stuff, like for fighting. Like I just did
Uh-huh.
NBL. So
I know there used to be this T-shirt that Century sold, and it was just had the
it was
padding in the front, padding on your ribs, and the padding on your back, and that was it. And I always
yes.
wore that because that was the most comfortable chest protector without it actually being a chest protector.
That was a good one. The other one, actually, when the rule came in effect, there wasn't there. All of them were huge, and the macho one was so big, and we were trying. None of us wanted to put it on top of. We wanted to hide it underneath. So
Yes, and you looked like a marshmallow.
genius, yeah, genius Greenhall found a way to. He created them, and put padding in a pullover like shirt that he did, and a lot of us bought those from him at his straight up or G-Force booth. This is back 2001. So, and that was kind of what started all that. So, yeah, it's great.
Yeah, that was definitely. And then, um, as a well, not as a junior, but before when NASCA you didn't have to wear the elbow pads and the shin pads.
Right.
So that was something that's not different though. That's for all black
All
belts
things
or
now.
whatever, whatever age you are, no matter what. But yeah, that was definitely something new. And I think that was implemented my adult year, like starting my adult years.
Yeah. So you went from thinking you were going to get rid of a lot of padding to then add more. So
Adding
yeah.
more. To adding more,
Yeah,
yeah.
that was a weird transition for me when I went to overseas to fight. And I used to just wear a shin guard on my front leg just because I would get it banged up so much.
Uh-huh.
And then I went over there, and then, of course, our coaches didn't tell me any of this that we had it because they didn't require it for the tryouts. But when
Mm-hmm.
I go over there, patting me down, I'm like, "What? You only got one shin guard?" I'm like, "Yeah. Why do I need another one?" And so I had no one to borrow from, but I knew all of the Canadian teams, and they gave it to me. And all of my USA teammates were like mad at me because I borrowed from Team Canada. I was like, I compete with these guys every week. Like, you guys don't even show up at tournaments. Like, what are you talking about? So it's just funny.
That's funny.
Yeah. But it's also for you moving to adult doing college. What was that like? And trying to compete.
Um,
I think that's something that we need to share that it can be done.
yes. You just definitely have to work around you have to work your travel around your class schedule or around your exam schedule. And I know a lot of people that relate to that right now. I
Yeah.
know a lot because anytime I talk to any of or some of the girls at the tournaments, we're all like, I have an exam to take or I have an assignment due. And we're all scrambling after fighting to go like do the assignment or do the exam because it's due at 11:59 and it's like 9 o'clock and we're all trying to scramble to get it done. But working around a college schedule is definitely hard, but it's doable as long as you plan right and you. I tend to try to get my assignments done before. That
Yeah.
way, while I'm at the tournament, I don't have anything else to worry about except for what I'm competing in.
Yeah, I remember it not being that bad my freshman year. Then all of a sudden, sophomore year, all my classes started like an attendance policy and all this stuff. And I was like, wait, what? What is this?
Yeah.
Like, my mom always told me that was the best part about college. Like, there's no attendance policy. If you don't show up, that's on
No.
you, you know, 'cause you're screwing up. But yeah, that kind of happened. And I remember in high school, I always, before the year started, I would just say, "Hey, this is my schedule. These are the tournaments I'm going to that I'm missing," and I would get all approved, right? And then
Mhm.
it's like I tried to do that in college, and it was like, "Yeah, no. Is this? Are you on a college team? No. Is this a no? You're not a college sport, so it doesn't matter." I'm like, "Okay, whatever."
Or have
So
you had
that was a
to
big
email
shock for me, and I had to just really be like, you know what? All right, well, which tournaments are important, and then you'd see me
Yes.
big time in the summer, and then I would make sure I never missed diamonds, and then that was about it, really.
Yeah, I have
But
to there's a lot going on with finals this year because they're in April and there's
yeah,
so many tournaments in April and
right.
there's so much going on in April. So I have to like plan my exams. Okay, I'm gonna do this one this day. I'm gonna do this one this day. Then I can travel this day.
Right.
He's not wrong.
No, no, of course
He's
not.
not. But
Um, all right. So, as far as a key for you, like, what do you think? How to transition from junior to adult competition successfully? How did you
um,
do it, or how are you still doing it?
I still am doing it because I got cut off for 2020, given
Right.
COVID and everything. There wasn't that many tournaments going on, and that was going to be my first actual year competing like as an adult because my birthday's late, so I was competing. I was always in the same division the same year after that. So when I was 17, I was still in 16, 17. So when I turned
Right.
18, my 18 full year of 18 got cut off pretty much because of COVID. So I started my adult at 19. So it's only been 3 years for me.
Mm, right.
But not only does your mindset at tournaments have to change, but your mindset for training has to change because you're going into a completely different ball game when it comes to the experience you're going to go up against and just the amount of talent you're going to go up against. Because like you could, like you said before, I could be fighting someone that's 18 or I could be fighting someone that's 28. There's a whole 10-year difference we could have, and that's a whole 10 years of experience that that person could have on the new kid coming in.
Right.
So confidence was definitely something to transition into because uh, it is going to kill your confidence at first.
Right.
Going into it and being like, okay, well, here I am. I'm gonna fight you guys, and I'm gonna do my best to win. And as as an 18-year-old coming freshly into the 18-29 division, you have to just have confidence. If you don't have confidence in yourself, it's going to be something super hard to come over if you don't get it that first year.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. I think one of the things they did this a few years when I was a junior, but I think it's something they definitely need to continue to do now. And I'm seeing this a couple tournaments, but especially at the end of the year, is have
Mm-hmm.
the 16, 17-year-old final or first place match or something at the last three
Mm-hmm.
or four tournaments to highlight those people, especially before they move up. Like
Yes.
especially that, like putting them on stage, that 16, 17-year-old, or if it's 14, 17, however you want to say it, 15, 17, put
Mm-hmm.
those that open weights or put the grand championship in the finals and showcase those people. So that way, like they're getting that stage time to get them
Mm-hmm.
excited about moving up to adults. I think it's a big thing. One of the coolest things I think was 1998 at the Battle of Atlanta, and this is when the battle was actually at the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they put Thomas Wright versus Jason Facey, who were the best two junior fighters for males. Both of them were moving up, and they put them on stage and say, "All right, this is their last junior fight of all time. This has been the biggest
That's
rivalry for 3 years." They hyped it up.
yes.
Whoever won that fight won the NASCA title. It was just a cool thing, right? It was just
That
the
is
way the points line.
super cool.
So,
I definitely think
man,
that would be something that juniors could look forward to, be it being their last junior tournament. That would be super cool.
right, exactly.
They should bring that back.
And
That would be awesome.
Diamonds did that as well the next year, so
Mhm.
it was pretty cool. All right, as far as transitioning from that junior to adult, I know for me the hard part was really making the decision of what I wanted to really focus on, right?
Mhm.
Um, because I was always doing 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 divisions, and so
Mhm.
it was at that time of trying to figure out, do I do all of these? Do I focus on this? How do I put myself where I can get into every grand, or do I need
Mhm.
to be more about getting into every grand, or do I, there were just so many things, and just okay, should I just stop and focus just on traditional or just on open, and I kind of learned how to. It took me a long time to figure that out. Um, and then, of course, for me, I really enjoyed the continuous fighting part of it. So that
Mhm.
I just knew that it made it easy for me to know, okay, so I'll be doing continuous at the NBL tournaments. When I go to NASCA, I'm going to focus on forms and weapons. All right, that's
Yeah.
fine. And then I switched that and did fighting as well. So it was kind of, it was just one of those things where it took me a while to figure out what I really wanted to focus
Mhm.
at. Now do I think you have to pick one? No, you don't. You can do all of it. You can
Mhm.
do all of it if you want. But at that time, you start zoning in and figuring out
To certain
where, yeah, where your
where
focus is going to be, where you want to be at, what is your, what's that 80%, what's the 20% that
Mhm.
you get the most success out of.
I made
So
that decision at like 16. When it
right,
came to NASCA, I made that decision at like 16. I stopped doing forms in this
yeah,
like the 16, 17 division, maybe even younger. I'm not exactly sure when, but
yeah.
I know I made that decision before I became an adult.
I remember judging you in forums at the 2015 Battle of Atlanta. So how old were you then?
13.
13. Okay.
I was 13.
Just,
Yep.
just dating myself and yourself. All right. So, yeah, no, I mean, for me, it was like that as well because even from 16 to 17, I made the change of doing 12 divisions. And the next
Hmm.
year said, I'm going to focus on six because I went from doing all the creative everything else where I just did the two musical divisions. Then I did my Japanese Korean, and then I did continuous. Those are the five I did. Maybe I added one more in there. I don't know. Some tournaments I did creative or whatever, but it was one of those things where I took it down from 10 to 5, and that's how it kind of went. So, yeah,
Hmm.
I think that's when that starts to happen from junior to adult. And then again, for me, like I love the pressure of like the money and everyone watching you and the stage time. And I do think in some ways, especially for forums, you don't have as much, at least in the 18 plus, you
Hmm.
don't have as much of the runoffs and things that you had to do in the juniors, which is nice. Now it's not really like that. It's changed now because
Hmm.
most of the tournaments are trying to bring it down to two. So most of the times in the adults, we're doing a runoff just as much as the kids are now.
Yep.
Now, when you are a senior, you got to do a bunch of different stuff.
Uh-huh.
So and if you want to do all the divisions like I do, you just, you literally sometimes feel like you're doing double divisions, just because you keep winning. So, which is
Yeah.
what you want. So I think,
Oh, 100%.
yeah. So, I mean, it's one of those things where you got to just be patient and you got to adapt. Um, and I think you got to really rely on yourself, but also your coaches and the people that like look up to people that are at the highest level, right?
Yes. Yes.
I think that's where you really got people that have experience. Um, don't just hang out with a good crew that is your age, but
Hmm.
also have those mentors that are 5 to 6 years older that have gone through it recently. Then the ones that
Yeah.
are 10 years older, maybe 20. For me, my Shotokan instructor was competing with me. He was in his, I guess, 50s and still competing with me or maybe he was in his 40s when I was moving up to adult.
Mhm.
And so all the local tournaments, I had to battle him for forms and weapons grand. So it was a good thing, to have that. So,
Yes. I agree.
all
Having
right.
having the
Yeah, go ahead.
coach,
Mm,
having the coach, and having that coach know how it is to transition into the adult division helps a lot because they can give you pointers and just boost your confidence as a whole.
yeah,
I know some of these kids that are getting older coming up into the adult division. I like to. It's okay. You're doing great. Like it's a different ball game.
yep. It is. It really is. It really is. I mean, and I at least like that most of the time the rules stay the same. I know
Hmm.
there's different equipment and stuff, but that is at least one good thing that most of the rules stay the same. Of course, when it comes to grands and stuff with 2 rounds, that's different, but that's really different for everybody. So,
Hmm.
so I think that's what's good about our sport that we haven't changed it so much from junior to like at least the base of the sport is the same. So
Yes. Yes.
so
Definitely.
awesome, awesome. All right, anything that you want to leave us with?
Excited to see everyone at Ocean State. Can't wait to be back on the mat. Super excited.
Yes, yes, me too. It's going to be exciting. April 5th and 7th through the 7th. If you haven't gotten your tickets, get them now. I believe they just put out go to Ocean State Grand National's Facebook page they just put information about extra hotel rooms and different facilities because they are sold out at the Crown Plaza. So make sure you guys do that. You're flying up, right? You're not crazy and driving up.
No, we're flying.
Yeah.
That's too long to drive.
All my students, all my students are driving. I'm flying. But yeah, I'm excited. I will see everybody Thursday and ready for a big weekend.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you so much, guys. Thanks for joining in. And remember, like and share and chime in even after the fact on the comments after watching. All right. And we will see you guys next month.
Good night, everyone.